We are back at you, Punk Perspective. Got my buddy Mike here, who's much more of a more into punk, more of a punk than me or I'll ever be. But we're going through the first punk record album that got you into it, Volume 3, getting towards the end of it. But this was we just listened to 10-Foot Pole, A.D.D.
Something a lot of us could probably having AD. I mean, I know that I've never seen them live, so I know that there's a baseball player who is he and pulley does he sing or no? Scott Radinsky?
Yeah.
So he's a singer of pulley too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he was a singer of 10-Foot Pole.
Yeah.
I don't really have a story because I haven't seen them. I did like the song. I do like pulley a lot. I want to see them live. I remember driving down the road playing this. Again, I was with another girl. And I was like kind of nervous at the time. And I was driving this little 84 pickup truck. And she was just like, "You look very serious driving." But okay. I kind of do have a story. So we were going to Azia's to go get, I was looking for pulley records and I bring her with me. And I went into the Zia's and ironically somebody got caught for shoplifting and they got kicked out of the Zia's. So I just wanted to say that. That's my only story.
Yeah. When you heard this song, do you remember hearing it and kind of like did it speak to you? Or like what was your feels when you heard it?
I can definitely relate to it because I had a brother that had ADD and he was just fucking off the wall hyper all the fucking time. He didn't take Ritalin either. I kind of wish he did it sometimes. He's fucking crazy, just everywhere. But so the song actually reminded me a lot of him. So when I heard it, I was like, "Oh, that's my fucking brother." So every time I hear it, it just reminds me of my brother. So that's what I like about it. But it's cool. It's a cool tempo and it's funny. And it's like saying that like I gotta take these drugs so I could be smart to everybody, and I'm dumb, and which is not the case. People with like ADD, I'm sure, very highly intelligent people. Just their brain, I guess. I mean, you know more about it because you have it. So your thought process is like super fast. Is that what goes on?
Attention deficit disorder. That's what they would say on it. So, I should read the lyrics here too, but when I first heard this song again, it was another one like I was on heroin and stuff like because I had like all this extra energy all the time. I mean, thank God my mom. So like the doctors were like, my grandma who was in the medical field thought something was wrong with me because I was so hyper and shit, and my mom went and took me to get like diagnosed or whatever, and they said, yeah, he has it. He should take it was either Ritalin or there's like another, what was the other R one? Not Ritalin. Fuck, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, it was Ritalin, and there's might have been some other drug too, but they were like recommending it. And my mom, like, it was like a big decision, because it's like, am I gonna give my kid fucking drugs? And I'm really happy she didn't, to be honest with you, because it took away, I think it would take away. Like I saw a lot of other friends that would take Ritalin or whatever, it would just like change their personality, would like zombie them out, and I don't think that's the right. And luckily, she talked to like my grandfather and my other grandmother, and they were like, "No, man, like you're just raising it. He's just cupped inside all the time. Like let him fucking go outside, join him." And I went and I joined baseball and stuff, and like that did it. Like I had just energy that needed to be used, right? I was all, I think mostly, ran bunks and shit because I wasn't using the energy waste, and also, kind of going back into punk or whatever. I mean, there's obviously going to be like layers to this, but it made me thinking, and especially when I heard this song, there was this like epidemic going on where doctors were just prescribing like fucking Valium or oxycodons for everything. Like there was this lack of trust with them because you just put a Band-Aid on it. I don't know if it was for money or whatnot, but there's a very big distrust to it because there's just this total abuse of people taking drugs to just like cope with society and stuff, which obviously that's probably not the real fucking problem, is it? if you have to take these things, maybe you need to deal with your problems and just like numb it out. It's like the same thing can be said with like alcoholism. All in my opinion, in my head, of course. And when I hear that shit too, it was super funny and it was crass and like ignorant how he sings about it. And it's and it comes from this like, yeah, point of view of like, oh, I need Ritalin because I'm a fucking idiot. I wish I could be like them, which is not the truth. What I started looking at when I heard that song, like all these other motherfuckers are the idiots, man. Like you're fucking giving it to your kids so they can just dumb down, just be obedient, do the lectures, learn the shit. When maybe that's not their calling. Maybe this whole structure is different. Maybe they need to be a welder. Maybe they should not. They're not going to go into fucking college and become whatever. Maybe they're going to fucking. They need to learn a trade school. There was no talks when I was in high school about trade schools and going where your fucking passions were, besides like, unless it's going to be in this like, go into debt through college, which I think is a whole scam. My punk side's really coming out, my conspiracies on how I think society's fucked up. But at the time it really hit me. And also the fact, like they have that little lyric there too for, oh, well, it's not even really for the fucking kids, it's for the parents. The parents are the ones taking it, which was like a nice little joke. But the way that I interpreted that part too was like, okay, so you're giving your kid Ritalin stuff because you're a lazy mom. That's how I was like, because your kid's a little too hyper and stuff and you don't want to deal with them or whatever, or go into the parenting, you're just gonna drug them up, versus that. And that's what my mom had to do with me, was she had to fucking start going to baseball games. She had to sign me up. She had to fucking, sacrifice her time to put me in these outlets where I was able to really help regulate it. And kind of to your point, yeah, it's probably why I also got into punk. It's like too long of songs would just fucking bore me out. I'm very hyper. I had a lot of energy. But I don't think the answer was to, cover up that energy or just, drug it out of you. It's find ways to use it, find where you can put that shit. Because I could spend hours, right, learning about punk or learning about history, things that I found interesting. But yeah, when I'm in fucking math class learning about a triangle, what the like we spent fucking like 3 years, algebra 1, geometry, and algebra 3, like all about like learning ways to do triangles and shit. I'm like, I've never fucking used that ever. And when I was in high school, I kind of knew, I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking keep doing this shit. It would bore me. I'd get bored very quickly. And so when I heard this song, I was like, yes, because it was like a reverse where like everyone that's really doing it, giving their kids Ritalin and all this stuff, they're the fucking idiots. They're just fucking, and that's what I saw to some of my friends that fucking took, Ritalin, or I wish I knew the name of the other R drug. I think it's Ritalin, and I guess I'm blanking on the name of it, but they would zombie out and just become these obedient little bitches. People I wouldn't want to be. I'm being very judgmental, but it's how I saw it. They lose their personality. And again, the whole idea of punk rock was to like truly be yourself. If I'm born and I have all this extra energy, then just fucking, let me just be myself, man. And that's why I fucking loved this song. And it's very funny too. I'll read the lyrics here like I always do. But yeah, so Scott Radinsky, he was the original lead singer of 10 Foot Pole. And they were also, before 10 Foot Pole, they were called Scared Straight. But he's a baseball player. And so he got replaced. It makes sense too. He's going off playing, 162 games, baseball or something. It's from April to October. That's a lot of time. And they also trying to, get momentum going for your punk band. So he got replaced. And so when he got replaced, he came back and he wanted to do his band. That's when he made the band Pulley, which is also one of my top bands ever. And I also never could understand, like, why don't more people like Pulley? Why don't more people like 10 Foot Pole? These are like some of the greatest bands, some of the greatest songs ever. I mean, Pulley's second best, something we should talk about too. I mean, there's so much fucking great lyrically, guitar, the way it riffs and stuff. I mean, just the fucking music just hits you in this like, and this is not like a nostalgia feel. This was more of like almost an aggressive, like, for me, this was like a nice big middle finger fucking song. That's what I liked about it. And then they have we briefed briefly, Cherry, Jim Cherry, he was the bassist for Strung Out and then Pulley, and then he made his own band called Zero Down, which also has like the same kind of temperament and stuff. But he can rest in peace. He passed. A.D.D, 10 Foot Pole lyrics. So of course I'll read it to you, but this is one to where it had so much more meaning to me than I think what it does. But so it goes, Mommy, what does hyper mean? Teacher says I'll never read. She says I need to take a pill so I can learn to sit real still. The microwaves did something to our brains. We need to take these pills to help us change. Please let me take them. I don't want to be an idiot. Ritalin will make me smart. At least that's what my teacher said. Um, all the other kids take them. I think I am the only one. I need something to slow me down. I talk too much because I am dumb. Mommy, what's deficit? I think it means that I can't sit. Disorder of attention, and then I don't learn the lesson. Mommy, please let me see the light. Don't you know my teacher's always right? Joey started on week 4. He's not in trouble anymore. Susie's ending up week 9. Now she's never out of line. Please let me take them. I don't want to be an idiot. Now mommy takes my Ritalin. There's not enough for me, she said. All the other moms take them. I think it's not just mine. I don't know if she's smarter now, but at least she's doing fine. Yeah. Funny, right, man? Like,
Yeah,
and so your brother was a little bit ADD?
yeah, he was full of ADD, but
Yeah. Was he dumb?
no, he was.
He's not
He's
dumb.
not.
No.
He's a auto mechanic. He runs a shop now, so
Go figure. So he's ADD, but he has a different fucking kind of like trade profession, right?
yeah. He couldn't. He barely. I barely graduated high school. He didn't graduate high school at all, and so makes a pretty good salary running a shop.
Yeah, he's making a shot as he's fixing fucking cars for people that are, go, never mind. I can go into that whole thing to where
Yeah,
there's,
it's like you're saying, like you're not meant to go to college. I didn't go to college. I'm a plumber, pipe fitter now, but yeah, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being hyper.
No,
There's nothing wrong with being quiet. There's nothing wrong with, like you're saying, being you. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You don't need to take a bunch of fucking pills to make you, like it's saying, to make you change. Because society wants you to change, because these teachers don't want to deal with your parents. So it's the same thing you're saying. Like
a
your
person that
parents-
wants to speak their mind, right?
Yeah, they don't want to deal with your hyperactivity, and your parents don't want to deal with it. Like they want you to be a zombie. They want and just have you just sit there, and that's just not who you are.
No.
So.
And if anything, I think it's making the kids more dumb, in my opinion. In my opinion, like the obedience tracker, things like this, because, like you said, it was just such a control thing. You got to take this to learn these lessons. Why? If you're going to become an and this was also a big problem I had in school too, which is I love about punk, and like it has this like big speaking, like the working class. And I think a lot of the people in society that really fucking matter, high school seemed to have this huge thing of like, if you ain't gonna go to college, you're gonna flip burgers, you're gonna be a fucking nobody, you're gonna amount to shit. And some of the teachers were very pompous by that. And you look back at it, and again, was it because of their insecurity? Because they're teaching high school, and that salary's not glamorous, and they're doing one for the team, and they should be almost on that board. But there was this huge disrespect and like way less awareness and education of being able to go into trade schools, or joining a union, being a journeyman, fucking going. There's a whole other thing that some people just naturally fucking can strive for, and it makes more sense to them, and it's interesting. I'm sure you don't become an auto mechanic because you don't think you're not into cars. Cars are fucking badass, man. Like you can, I mean, I like cars a lot,
Ever
right?
since he was like 14, he was working on cars. He was working on those big like a muscle car.
Yeah, muscle, and that's usually where it starts, right? You get this obsession with
and
it.
then I started helping him work on a muscle car. We both got into muscle cars together. We started getting like a mechanical inclination to things. And we started helping each other fix our fucking cars together,
I'll say this too. Now, even going up, not like to be pompous, like I was right, but I was right in the fact that fucking a lot of people I went to high school with, and peers and stuff, that went to college and got some like bachelors in liberal arts or something like this. They're fucking in debt. They're not. They're working like still a level entry job somewhere, and some of them are still living with their parents or family. No judgment, nothing like that. But other friends, that maybe they didn't even go to high school or get anything, but they become Joe. He became an electrician. He's making money, living on his own, raising families. You're fucking in a union. You're making I'm not going to say anything, but you're doing
No,
well
I
for
mean-
yourself. More people that didn't go to high school that I know are better off right now than those that actually went to college. I mean, college, it seemed like it was like a big fucking felt like a scam. I think it is a scam. Like there's, and don't get me wrong, there's obviously importances for college, stuff like that, but there was just this over push, like they were pushing it down our throats in fucking high school to where, um, I think it forced some people to just go to college to go to college. That's why they didn't know what they're going to college for. So they'd get some bullshit degree and it didn't matter. And maybe their real love was, you know, firefighting or fucking like these other careers that just got like pissed on by the school system. And then like you said, and my teacher's always right? What does it say? How the fuck does that lyric go? Which I just thought that too.
Oh, man, and I just wanna say this too. I don't know, like, for some reason, and this is ironic as fuck,
Mhm.
like, they put, and I was like, what, I want, somebody really hated me, and like, so, like, I went through high school, right, and I didn't have ADD, I had a learning disability. But someone put in the, I don't know if it was in the paper, something came out about me saying I was most unlikely to succeed.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee right now I'm making more.
Making more fucking money than
But
those
that
bitch
person- That
motherfuckers.
person that put that in that,
Yeah.
whatever it was, I don't know if it was a year, but it was.
No hate, no hate.
I'm just saying, like, you're entirely wrong about it.
And then I think I was like 14, 15. I knew this stuff. I had that feel, it was like a gut instinct or whatever. I knew, and that's what that lyric in there is. Don't you know, teachers always right? No, they're not. No, they're not. Usually those guys are teachers. A lot of them, there's now again, I'm generalizing and this is my 14-year-old self kind of coming back out. I probably sound like some fucking right winger now at this point or something. I don't know, hating on the schools, but fucking so many of those teachers that I went to school with were miserable. They didn't want to be a teacher. They ended up getting that job. I mean, it's a hard job. You're teaching high school and stuff, but usually it was because of some like the biggest example too was like the art teacher, you know, or music teachers. Like where obviously they want to go into band stuff. They couldn't make money doing it, and so they go in this route. And I don't know, man. A lot of those teachers in high school were fucking miserable and they just wanted you in line. And so yeah, they don't care if they're gonna fucking drug some fucking kid up and make them a zombie and erase their personality, not let them be who they are. You know, it should have been a crime, man, for fucking how much Ritalin they were pushing on it. And furthermore, this was like this, like the from the barrel. I got friends that went way hard into fucking like oxycodone and heroin because of this shit too. I had a friend, he broke his fucking arm. People break arms, you know, and they prescribed him oxycodone. And I guess, I mean, they say it's right. You can have these arguments about it, but I mean, I know other people that broke their arms. They just took Advil. They fucking, you know, toughen out. It sucks. It's probably super painful, but risking getting someone addicted to fucking a drug like oxycodone, which is heroin, and then they're fucked up for their life, and now they're a fucking junkie. And what the fuck was going on with that? But this also probably makes me start sounding like a right winger now. Can't trust the medical system. All this shit,
I mean,
but
you really,
it
you can and you can't.
it was a
But
weird
it's
time.
a for-profit system.
Yeah, that's the whole problem with it.
If it wasn't for profit, yeah, like the opioid epidemic and then that brand fentanyl.
Oh,
So all the
fentanyl,
people-
no.
Yeah, all the people were fucking, they're addicted to opioids, they gave fentanyl, now it's like way fucking worse.
Yeah.
But
It's a fucked up, and it goes back onto the parents though. That's what I liked about this song too. Yeah, the teacher says this is teacher's miserable, but hates their job. They'll do whatever you can so you can be in line. But the parents that end up taking the fucking drugs themselves, because obviously the way I interpret that is the Ritalin's just for the parents, so they don't have to fucking deal with it, man. Like, don't be a parent then. I'm probably pissing a lot of people off with these opinions on it, but this song, it's how I felt, man. I was lucky. I was so happy. I was scared. I was fucking got diagnosed, and then my grandma, I was here listening to my grandma Marie. She was like, "You need to get him on Ritalin. He's too much." And I was like, "I don't want to fucking get drugged up, man." I was scared, and luckily, my mom had some heart to hearts, and my grandpa was the one that was just like, just fucking have him burn that energy off.
yeah, that was the best thing to do, was just burn it off.
You know. And then I did. I got obsessed with stuff, and that ADD is kind of your knack. Is you just when you get obsessed with something you find really cool, you can go fucking like obsessively in it. Probably what happened with me in punk too. Like I got obsessed with it. When I was younger than that, I got obsessed with Legos. I would have these little niches I'd get upset. But if it was like any what boring to me, no chance in hell. I'm not gonna waste, my time, learning. And when I was getting into high school, I kind of was learning that shit too, because I'd ask, older people, I'm like, oh, you know about the Pythagorean theorem? No. I'm like, oh, like why am I learning this? That I mean, have you used, like much of this shit that they wasted time on in fucking high school?
I've used a lot of math.
But that got retaught to you in your probably.
But it was, yeah, it got retaught to me. Yeah, it got retaught to me throughout when I went in as an apprentice, I took a whole math course. And then like 45-degree angles, 22-degree angles, different, those are the two main offsets, but then you have different angles. You have 30-degree fittings that you have to weld, it's just a lot of math. But they teach you the math that you need to know. I don't know if Pythagorean theorem had it.
Right, but I mean that's
But
all the other shit they would just waste our time on saying they need to learn. And yeah, exactly. And it's because you're a profession. Before you went into the profession, do you need it? No. The whole school system's a scam, man. That's what I'm gonna say before I end this one out. But this song was one that again it really got me. It was fast. I had a little bit of that hate, but this hate was different. It was like a sarcasm, which it was witty. The song itself was witty and funny by giving the finger to him too. I mean, there's not a bad word in this song either. Which is just also dope as fuck because it's obviously can be offensive to that crowd that was going out with it. Yeah, man. That's it.
All right.
Okay. I was gonna make a joke about unions, but
If you want to get beat up.
I won't. I don't. I think I won't. But all right.